is very telling, right? This is very telling, right? I mean, listen, this is very, very telling. So whites, when asked, right? When asked, whites rated whites here, right? So they rate whites kind of like on this being the line, but they rate blacks not too far back. Blacks,
Yeah.
blacks are just they're here, and Hispanics are a little bit better. They rate Hispanics a little bit better than blacks, and they rate Asians a little bit less than Hispanics, but higher than blacks. But everybody's within this little, night tight package. We're all the same, basically. You know what I'm saying? Um, when when Hispanics were asked, they rated whites here low, very low. They rated blacks higher than whites, though. And they rated themselves really, really high, and they rated Asians about on par with blacks. So Hispanics see the world. This is the prism through which they see the world. They don't see everybody the same as them. They see them as the elite group. And they see blacks and Asians here, and they see whites like, yo, whites, you suck. You're just horrible. And then when you go to Asians, man, similar, but very telling that Asians see themselves, of course, as the dominants, and then they see blacks ahead of Hispanics, which is very interesting, man. I that's very interesting that they see.
Yeah,
I
I
would have
don't know about this.
guessed that.
Yeah.
You guessed that? I would have never guessed that. I would never guess that Asians would have ranked blacks ahead of Hispanics and whites. Um, that's shocking to me. But whites are rated the least. Okay, so all three both these groups, whites are rated the least. Then we get the blacks, and of course, blacks. Look at the chasm where blacks rate themselves. We rate ourselves much higher than everybody else. Like the chasm, we think we're the shit. You know what I'm saying?
You
We
think y'all are
we're
God?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then we have Hispanics next lowest, then Asian, and then whites. So the chasm between what we think whites are and every other group thinks whites are at the bottom. Whites are the worst group. Um, and whites, look at the way y'all see the world. Like this is what I was talking. Do you understand now, Burner account? What I'm saying? How this
No,
creates?
I'm not. I've never disputed what you're saying. I just dispute the reason for why the phenomenon occurs currently.
But how could you have this from thousands of respondents? How could you come up with this graph if there wasn't some unifying thing that, hereditary thing that,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Because the unifying thing is we've been living for like 100 years now to propaganda that white people are the devil, essentially. There's no reason to like keep beating a dead horse here. Like I think we just disagree.
Okay, salute to What in the World TV says, if the king of Africa said he will tell all Africans to come back to Africa, but other countries can no more steal our material, gold and etc. Do you think the gliders would agree to them terms?
Oh, this glider would.
I think when here's the thing. I think okay, he says I personally think that there's no way that could be possible because here's the thing. Okay, let's just say we make that contract. We won't steal because what you call stealing is what we call business. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. If you want to call gliders using resources that come out of Africa stealing, fine. We'll use the word steal. I think gliders, a lot of their society is based on these chocolate, just simple things like chocolate to things like cobalt to things like just every mineral that you would think goes into like the products we use. That would be a tough decision for gliders, man. Because here's the thing, man. Like you guys have come to a certain life, quality of life, and that quality of life is based on at the foundation products that come from Africa. So yeah, that would be a tough one. But you would give it all up.
Well, along with chocolate comes chocolate city, Zach.
Yeah. and here's another thing too. Gliders would just find another way to get those things. They would find another way to make those things. They would invent another way to bypass whatever like
Just
instead
trade
of
with
cobalt,
Asia. Trade with another place.
Yeah. They would just be like they're problem solvers. Gliders are problem solvers.
So, we're not even stealing the cobalt anyway. We pay those African child slavers good money to export that to us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be wise to do that if I was a glider, but I don't think gliders would do that because it's like, I don't think the modern glider would want to start over but here's the thing. Africa would immediately sell out. Like that's one thing about Africans, that our leaders are like, whatever leader we have is going to be a greedy, low impulse glutton, and he'll just immediately sell it out.
Yeah, this question should be posed to Africans, not to gliders.
This is all based on the spurious predication that there's going to be one single king of Africa too. I find that a little hard to believe.
Yeah, especially as tribal as we are. I don't think that there wouldn't be countries if the white man took the thing about Nigeria. You got the houses in the north with Boko Haram. You got the Igbos in the capital with Abuja. You got the Yorubas in Lagos. You got the Ife tribe. So you got like 32 tribes in Nigeria. If the white man took his hand off of us and said, all right, Nigeria wouldn't last 20 years before it fractured into 20 or 30 smaller states. And it wouldn't last 5 years before it fractured into 3. It would definitely fracture into 3 almost immediately. The Hausa, the Igbo, and the Yoruba. Immediately. The next day. As soon as the white man left, it would be like, oh, no, we Yoruba land, Igbo land, Hausa land. We got our own country. So it's like we would never meant to have these big societies, man, anyway. As blacks, we were always meant to be fractured, into small groups.
One thing I do want to say about this picture here, though, is like this to me kind of like puts my point even further, because to me, when I see the white respondents, I'm not seeing like their genetic baseline here. I'm seeing their genetic baseline plus the anti-white culture they have endured for 100 years. Whereas all the other respondents, this is just their genetic baseline. And basically I'm saying is the white one would look a lot more similar to theirs if they were not under this type of culture we currently have.
So you're telling me that...
Do you think the Jews could have programmed the blacks to feel better about everybody else than themselves? Or like, do you think that there's a reason why that takes hold with gliders more?
Like there might be some genetic thing that maybe if this white response was pure genetic, it might not look exactly like the black one. But I'm arguing it wouldn't look anything near to what it currently looks like right now, is what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying. Like there's a pressure as a glider to be polite. There's a pressure as a glider, but that's self-imposed. A lot of that's self-imposed because you're the one doing it.
We've got suicidal altruism, that's the thing, and it's like, oh, women are particularly just easy to just weaponize for these means, and that's what's happened.
Yeah, and there's a son, man. We can keep it real. Like a son, man. I answer this, man. Oh man, as a glider, there's like, oh God, I gotta.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, I agree that has something to do with it, but it's so stark. Like it's not like the difference is night and day. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And since the difference is so obviously like bullshit. Like I don't even believe the white respondent poll. Like just think about it for a moment. We know people are tribal. Like there's no way that like white people actually think this. But unfortunately, we are encouraged to, and if we don't, we get fucking punished for it. Whereas blacks
you get punished.
do not get
That's
punished
true.
for it. Asians do
Now,
not.
I'll give you that. You guys get punished. There's actual real world costs for
Oh yeah.
not being overly nice to other groups of people. And I think a lot of that has to do with your arrogance too, because I think you guys know that you're superior in a lot of things. I think Gladys intuitively know, like, hey man, we're the adults in the room. I think they know that. And because of that, it's like, oh, these kids, man, we can't hold these kids to the same standard. And meanwhile, these kids are ravenous wolves.
Okay, but we know the Juice Crew are also like the adults in the room, but we let them get away with fucking murder, so.
Yeah, but they look just like you.
Nah, let's not get into this. Let's continue.
Personally, I disagree with that, with what you're saying, because look at Hungary. I'm fine with that example. Hungary is a place where they don't want non-white people. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. So I disagree with you on that, because Hungary do what they do and they don't get punished for their ways.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not really part of like the gay West, are they? Like, you know, that's like very society over there, and it's like, yeah, they're part of the European Union, but like they're not. They don't have the LGBT shit and all the diversity crap rammed down the throats. That's why.
Yeah, they're not punished for it.
Here it is, Western or not, what matters is they're Caucasian. Whether it's West or those things don't matter. You know what I'm trying to say? Hungary has its ways. They're an open white supremacist country. No, when people are fine with it, I don't have a problem with it, and they're not punished for being an open white supremacist country.